Hey, how's it going everyone? In today's video, I wanted to do something that I haven't done before and also haven't seen before on YouTube, and that is a Zero to Hero series. Basically, starting on a fresh Steam account with no swiping or help from anyone and documenting my progression to see how far I get and how long it takes to progress. I wanted to do this sooner, but Valkyrie was right around the corner, so I waited until she released to start this video series. This is mainly designed to capture the audience of new and returning players and show what progression looks like. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, so we have the game booted up here. As you can see, this is a brand new Steam account. There is no character on any server, completely brand new. Some of the rules I'm outlining for myself is that I cannot receive help from anyone for whatever reason. This will include receiving gold, materials, help getting into raids, etc. I am all on my own. In addition, I cannot swipe for any form of progression whatsoever. This will be completely free to play. I will only use what the game has to offer, including Power Pass, Express Event, Event Shop, etc. I decided to use my Power Pass on a Valkyrie. I enjoy her playstyle a lot for both DPS and support. Because this is a fresh account, I had to set up some things, including the daily and weekly trackers shown in game when you try to swap characters. When I got into the game, I decided on DPS Valkyrie. Even though I have to play DPS to do solo raids, I have already decided that I'm going to play DPS for the most part, unless there is some sort of support shortage or a support spot open for a particular raid. I claimed the login reward, then activated the skill runes that you get every time you power pass a character. Within the product inventory is a second power pass and a bunch of rewards, including a legendary skin, honing materials, etc. I'll go ahead and use the second power pass later on. I also had to dive into the in-game settings and change quite a few things since it is a brand new Steam account, so that took me a few minutes. I also went ahead and claimed a legendary skin on this character, which gives me a minor stat boost and also looks way better than the default armor. Within the universal storage, I claimed a bunch of cards and other rewards that the game gives you as a fresh account. And just to be transparent, I do not have crystalline aura or a trusted status. I then proceeded to go to the storage NPC and organize my inventory a little bit. Then I activated the Challenge Express event on this character and chose the DPS version for Valkyrie. But I also swapped the support within the Challenge Express user interface because it gives you a free 7/7 ability stone and a bracelet for support, both of which do not expire, and the ability stone can be upgraded to tier 4. Then I put the support items and the abundance of gems in the personal storage since we do not need those at this time. After all of that, I went into the Arc passive and gave myself more swiftness, then equipped the Spirit Absorption Engraving. This allows me to move a lot faster, and I only did this for the purpose of completing the Arcasia Tour. The Arcasia Tour gives me a lot of skill points and skill runes which I will need later on, so I decided to knock it out now before we proceed with anything else. After I completed the Arcasia Tour, I was in Elneed and couldn't find the pet management NPC, so I sailed on over to North Vern. I need one or more of the pets to have swiftness and one pet for critical. Swiftness will be our main stat in Chaos Dungeon and critical will be our main stat for raiding. Then I set up mass preset for both Chaos Dungeon and raids and sailed back over to Elneed. As of recently, you can unlock the Hyper Awakening in tier 3, so I went ahead and knocked that out. It will only take you about 5 or so minutes to complete and it's pretty easy. So far, I adjusted some in-game settings to match what I like, completed the Arcasia Tour and Hyper Awakening quest, created a mass preset for daily and weekly content, and made sure our build is correct. I used the Lost Ark Nexus website as a guide to make sure the build is correct. Now I will start on the Challenge Express. I will go ahead and defeat Vulcan since that is our first challenge, then I will claim the rewards that the game gave us and start honing my gear. Throughout the process of honing, I got lucky on weapon but very unlucky on armor. Our goal is to hit 1600 for the next milestone in the Challenge Express. There are many times when I ran out of the blue stones, so I went to the ship outside and bought some honing materials which cost pirate coins. Obviously that was not enough, so I had to go to the solo mode shop and buy out some more blue stones. That was also not enough, so I went to the event shop and bought out more blue stones. And then eventually I ran out of gold, but there are a few ways to solve that problem, one of which was Paradise. Their product inventory rewards we claimed earlier gave us a few hell keys for tier 3 and tier 4. So I hopped into Elysian and got some Paradise gear, Then I ran a few hell keys. The hell key can potentially give you a box at the end that gives you some gold. Some of the keys did not give me good rewards, but eventually I got a bound gold chest, which was a lifesaver. With that bound gold, I was able to hit 1600, defeat the next challenge, and claim the reward box. Inside the 1600 reward box, we get an elixir selection chest. I decided on the critical set, but I could not imbue the elixir until I completed a guide quest which took about 2 seconds to complete. Lost Ark Nexus class guides will tell you which elixir set to go for. One of the 1600 side missions is to refine a tier 3 accessory, but it does not give you the currency to refine it. Since we are low on solo mode tokens, we don't want to use that currency to buy accessories for dismantling. Instead, I decided to run a chaos dungeon. From there, I set up my auto dismantle settings and completed the chaos dungeon. After refining the accessory, we get an extra 20,000 gold and proceeded to hone our gear. The next milestone is 1610. Eventually, I ran out of blue stones again, so I had to go to the solo mode shop again and get some more blue stones. But sadly, that was not enough. So I went to the event shop and bought out blue stones from there, but that was not enough either. Then I ran a Paradise Hell key but did not get the box I was looking for. Ultimately, I had no choice but to run a few chaos dungeons, which is possible due to the rewards that the game gave us via the product inventory. After that, we finally hit 1610 and completed the next challenge, then claimed the reward. The hardest part of this event for a new player is getting to 1620, which is our next goal. The Challenge Express event does not give you nearly enough gold, honing books, or materials to get there. I went back to the solo mode shop to buy more honing books since I ran out, but that is when I was getting really low on solo mode tokens and also low on gold. So I decided to do solo mode Theamine. At 1610, this raid gives you the most gold and solo tokens. After completing Theamine, I bought more honing books and continued to hone my gear. As you can see, I'm not getting that lucky, which was pretty annoying. And yet again, I ran out of blue stones. It's pretty crazy how the event gives you hardly any materials compared to what you actually need. I kinda wish the event was more juiced in this regard. I went ahead and started the growth mission path by speaking with Eno, who is located in every major city. This allowed me to get a little bit more materials, but it's a drop in the bucket compared to what I actually need. In addition, I ran out of honing books again. However, the free Arc Pass gives you a honing book selector box, which I used to get more honing books. But sadly, I ran out of gold again. To fix this problem, I followed the Paradise roster quest, which eventually gives you a free hell key after entering Crucible. Unfortunately, that hell key did not give me bound gold, so I was a bit screwed here. I decided to do Crucible in Elysian a few times, since it gives a one-time reward box of honing materials. And those boxes give a lot of materials compared to other sources that are available to us. After Paradise, I did a few more solo mode raids because I needed more gold. I did solo Ivory Tower, tried honing a bit more, then did solo Motokan. When honing again, I was at my last 800 gold, and I decided to stop honing and go to the Paradise NPC vendor. From there, I bought a one-time hell key for 500 gold and used it. And that hell key did not give us bound gold, but it did give us special honing attempts, which is completely free and does not cost gold. With these free attempts, I was able to hone one gear successfully. At this point in time, I am item level 1617. I ran all of my solo mode raids, used all my hell keys from Paradise, and still needed more gold. Since Amazon was generous enough to give us a second power pass, it was time to use it. With this second power pass, I made another Valkyrie. Then I did 3 solo raids. I completed a Khan, Triangle, and Belshazzar. This gave us a total of 12,000 gold, and I had 3 pieces of gear left to hone. With the terrible luck of honing I had so far, I started to get lucky. On my last piece of gear, I ran out of the solar materials, which give you higher odds of success. So I went to the solo mode shop and bought out a one-time purchase of those materials, which helped me reach 1620. Now that I'm 1620, I completed the Theamine challenge and claimed the reward box. This gives us a full set of Relic Tier 4 gear and some advanced honing scrolls. Normally, I would have gear transferred to Tier 4 right away, which would put me at 1640. But I noticed that I have almost 700,000 Tier 3 shards left. If I go to Tier 4 now, I can no longer use those Tier 3 shards. I wanted to do a Tier 3 honor shard deposit on my gear via advanced honing, which allows me to save a bit of shards in Tier 4. To do this, I had to complete solo mode Echidna in order to unlock the ability to advance hone. Advance honing is also a requirement for the 1620 side mission in the Challenge Express UI. After tempering my gear, I transferred to tier 4, which put me at 1640. Now that I'm 1640, I can use the Rise of the Valkyrie event on my 1640 character. This will immediately give me a box of rewards that I can claim. Within the 1640 reward box includes 10,000 gold and another elixir selection chest. The next mission in the Challenge Express is Echidna at 1640. I went ahead and finished that and claimed the reward. After claiming the reward box, I equipped a full set of level 6 tier 4 gems that the event gave us. In addition, I went to the Honey Exchange NPC and transferred my remaining tier 3 materials to tier 4. After all that, I decided to hone since the next milestone in the Rise of the Valkyrie event is 1650. However, I quickly ran out of blue stones. So I hit up the solo mode shop and bought out more blue stones, but sadly that was not enough. This is where Paradise came in clutch. The Paradise Exchange NPC allows you to buy a 1640 hell key as a one-time purchase for 500 gold. On top of the free items I got from the product inventory, I now have a total of 4 hell keys to use at 1640. The first hell key gave me a ton of blue stones to work with, which is exactly what I was looking for. The second hell key gave me some bound gold, which is really good. The third hell key was a choice between bound gold or fusion material. At this time, I have 35,000 gold, so I decided to go with fusion material since those are harder to acquire. And the last hell key gave us bound gold again, leaving me at 51,000 gold. After some honing, I was able to hit 1650 and claim the 1650 reward box from the Rise of the Valkyrie event. The next milestone is 1660, which is much more difficult to achieve, and I knew it would not be possible unless I got very lucky. Spoiler alert, I did not hit 1660, but I still wanted to try and see how far I could get. The daily reset was around the corner for EU, so I hopped into a Chaos Gate. I actually got a relic book from the Chaos Gate, but it was a shitty one. After the Chaos Gate, I did the 1640 Guardian raid to get some extra materials. Within the event shop, I bought out some additional Chaos Dungeon potions with the intention to run 1640 Chaos Dungeon back to back in the hopes that I get a nice Fate Ember. But then I realized that I cannot do the 1640 Chaos Dungeon until I complete the North Curzon story. So I went ahead and finished that story as quickly as I could, and ran all the Chaos Dungeons I could as well. In the middle of running those Chaos Dungeons, the field boss was about to spawn, and thankfully I was able to secure a spot in Channel 1. I was hoping the field boss would drop a relic book, or give me an enlightenment potion, but neither of those two things happened. So I went back into Chaos Dungeon and continued to grind. After honing a bit more, I got to 1653, but ultimately ran out of gold. At this time, I thought there would be no way at all to obtain more gold. I ran all my hell keys and I did all my solo raids. That's when I remembered that cube tickets exist. The Chaos Dungeons I completed gave me 2 cube tickets. On top of the free cube selection chest that the game gave us, I got 3 cube tickets in total. I went to the solo mode shop to buy out more tier 4 materials. Then I went to the Paradise Exchange NPC and bought out a blue hell key which cost me 2 cube tickets. I was going to buy the purple key for 3 cube tickets, but it did not seem worth it to me. The blue hell key I bought left me with a tough decision to make. I had to pick between bound gold, fusion material, or special honing. After thinking for a bit, I decided to go with special honing and pray to the RNG gods. However, with the free attempts I got, I was only able to hone a single piece of gear. At this time, I am 1654. I thought I exhausted everything, but when I checked my roster storage, I somehow had an extra 2 Chaos Dungeons that I've not used yet. I was hoping that by running these 2 extra Chaos Dungeons that I would get another cube ticket, which would then allow me to get another hell key, but this did not happen. With every little thing being exhausted, the only thing left I could do is try to join a random behemoth lobby and get some Makoko tokens. The Makoko shop gives you 5,000 gold per week, which is not a lot, but I wanted to run Behemoth before weekly reset. I tried to join a few lobbies, but I got declined or they just never took me. Eventually, I got accepted into a lobby and we ended up clearing the raid. With that 5,000 gold from the Makoko shop, I was able to get to 1655. But there was no way to go any further than this until weekly reset. I was honestly pretty shocked at the outcome. I got unlucky when it came to honing armor, but got lucky when it came to honing weapon with some great rewards from Paradise. I thought I wouldn't make it this far week 1, but I did, which is awesome to see. I wrapped up the day by doing Chaos Dungeon and Paradise on my 1585 alt character. This ultimately concludes week 1 of my journey. I will be uploading once a week, every Monday or Tuesday. The intention of this video is to show new or returning players what to expect when coming back to the game. A set of realistic expectations. Anyways, that is all for this week. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.